Hello everyone, in this lecture we will discuss how to recognize equilibrium concentration. How to recognize equilibrium concentration. Equilibrium concentration. So there are two methods by which we can recognize the equilibrium concentration. The first method is physical method, and the second method is chemical method, by which we can determine the equilibrium concentration of reactant and product. Now, what are the physical methods by which we can determine the equilibrium concentration? Physical method. Physical method can be polarimetry. It can be conductivity metry. It can be electrical conductivity. Siemen or microsiemen, unit or Siemen and microsiemen. The polarimetry. It can be spectrophotometry. It can be refractometry. In this method we are going to determine the refractive index of solution, and from refractive index we will determine the equilibrium concentration. In this method we are using light to determine the equilibrium concentration in solution. The equilibrium concentration of reactant by light. In this method we are using electrical current or conductivity to determine the equilibrium concentration of solution. We are going to first of all be making a solution of iron or salt, like we are going to prepare solution of potassium bichromate or lead acetate or sodium chloride solution, and then we put the electrical conductivity probe in solution, and with the passage of time we are going to measure the electrical conductivity of solution, and we are noting the electrical conductivity with the passage of time. Now when a time will reach when the conductivity will not changes with the passage of time. So at that time we will determine the equilibrium concentration from the electrical conductivity. So similarly in polarimetry we are going to pass light from the solution. If the light is rotated to the right, the light can be rotated to the right or left, and from these we can determine the equilibrium concentration. Similarly we can determine the concentration from refractive index. If refractive index is high, the concentration will be high. If the refractive index is small, then concentration will be small. So the refractive index we can determine the concentration by refractive index. So refractive index is nothing but it is the ratio between the speed of light in vacuum and the speed of light in the solution. So it depends on the speed of light. If the speed of light increases or decreases, then the refractive index of material will be increases or decreases. When a constant refractive index is reached, then equilibrium concentration in the solution will be reached. So these are the physical method. Now there is another method which is chemical method. Chemical method. The chemical method is titration method. In titration method, there is one solution which is in the burette and the other solution in the beaker. The one solution in the burette, this is the burette, and the other solution is in the beaker. This is the burette. Drop by drop the solution come to the beaker, and there is some indicator putting in the solution. So with the passage of time this solution changes its color, and after a certain time we can obtain the equilibrium concentration of the solution. So The chemical method is titration is the chemical method. Titration. Generally in lab we are using this method, titration method. These are the titrants. These can be the solution, and the indicator shows the end point of the reaction, the end point. So the color changes. We can also, equilibrium can also be measured by changes in color. It can be measured by passing light through the solution. If we pass light through the solution, we can measure the equilibrium concentration. If we pass current through the solution, we can measure the equilibrium concentration. Similarly, we can measure the equilibrium concentration simply by our eye or our eyes. So this is the equilibrium, how to measure the equilibrium concentration. Thanks.